Is the following a fair statement? Concessions in the Memorandums of Understanding and the Memorandums of Agreement between the government of Anguilla and various developers were necessary in order to secure those deals. You have 2 minutes. Would you like me to reread? Or?
Thank you very much, Moderator. I think I have the question. Appreciate that. I do not think it's a fair statement. No, I do not at all. I think that in any negotiation, there are 2 parties, the government and the developer. And if we have in mind an objective as a government, I think very much we have to focus and keep that objective in mind. I think if a government pursues and grants concessions as part of a negotiating tactic to get a developer to come into Anguilla, and those concessions outweigh the value of that project in terms of employment to its people or, creating sustainability going forward, I think that there is no merit in giving those concessions, and we do better without the project in some cases. So I do not think it's a fair statement.
Thank you. Mr. Hodge, would you like me to reread the statement?
Yes, please.
Concessions in the Memorandums of Understanding and the Memorandums of Agreement between the government of Anguilla and various developers were necessary in order to secure those deals. You have 1 minute.
Concessions are a necessary part of the process of attracting investment. The question is, how far do you go with the concessions? Even in the United States of America, which is the world's most powerful country and world's biggest economy, they give concessions. The various states give concessions to attract investment. Mercedes-Benz got concessions to bring a plant into Alabama, and that plant has transformed the Alabama economy. Toyota got concessions to establish its biggest car plant in Europe, in the UK, and that plant employs 4,000 people at any given time, which at 3 shifts a day, 12,000 people every day. The thing though is that the concessions have to be geared so that the local economy benefits the most out of it, not that the investor benefits the most. This is where Alabama and England did it right with Toyota and Mercedes-Benz, but we seem to have gone wrong in Anguilla. But concessions are a part of the negotiating process, and I'd like to point out that I'm a trained negotiator. I've been very skilled in negotiating, and I have done this for years as a union leader and as a manager.
Thank you, Mr. Hodge. Mr. Harrigan, would you like me to repeat the statement, or you remember?
It's fine.
Thank you.
Concessions are always necessary, but solely are necessary for the local people as well. I believe that the concessions that were given were in many ways to the extreme, but to move off that point and say to you that one of the underlying factors is the Memorandums of Agreement and Understanding. What we see here tonight, in the absence of the other candidates, is exactly the way the Memorandums of Agreement have gone. Quietness to the people. There's no response, and if we allow this to continue, we will have no response in the government either. The government's responsibility is to discuss these things, these proposals with the people, and the government's responsibility is to know that they must bargain for the people, not for the developers.
Thank you.